let me share with you what you just said, but from a faithist perspective, because there's a lot in common, but there's a few things that are different, and you can just take it and consider it or throw it away, whatever.
Definitely.
um, so about the idea of this is a prison planet, I understand what you're saying, and it's not a new concept for me. I everything you said was pretty familiar. Um, in order to set the context, I have to go back to the sort of the foundation of what's the difference between the creator and God? Because there is a huge difference. God is not the creator, or any of the gods or goddesses are not the creator. And God is a title or an office that is every world has sort of like an administration. Like every every state has a governor, and the governor has an office with assistants and departments, and they're all running the state.
Yes. Right.
Or a town has a mayor. You know what I mean. Every world has got the same thing
Yes. Definitely.
behind the scenes. So you have a position called God, and that position is appointed by the creator. That position is working for our highest good for the creator. Now, the trick is, as angels, departed mortals, are raising up in their knowledge and their vibration and they're ascending, they're not immune from darkness. They might be traveling on a path of light, and they start listening to their ego, and they start deceiving themselves like, I could do this way better than so and so. And what happens is that they go off on their own for their own glory and for their own power, and they actually create a plateau, which is a lower heaven, and that plateau is hovering above the earth at a certain altitude. Some are very low, some are higher, right? And what they're trying to do, this has been going on for 20 or 30,000 years at least. And what they try and do is, with the angels that they have that are loyal to them, they come down to the earth. Let's say there's a plateau over North America. So they come down to North America and they try, and over the course of 100 years or 1,000 years, you know, try and develop a belief system so that people will believe in their doctrine. And it acts like a tether. And so when people believe who believe in their doctrine, they go to their heaven. It's a tether. You are bound to what you believe. And that's why it's really careful to be careful about what you believe. It determines on where you go. And so,
Yes.
so
Definitely.
right, okay. So, there's one true God, and there are lots of false gods. And the reincarnation thing is really interesting because there's so much evidence for reincarnation stories. You gave some really great examples, and there's lots more different types of examples. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just giving you my perspective as a faithist. So when we die,
Yes. Yes.
there's lots of different options of what can happen when we die. If we are truth seekers and we are doing the best we can to follow our highest light, we're going to continue that journey when our body dies, and we will go to we're going to go to school. When we die, we're going to go to school and keep learning, and we're going to keep growing and keep growing and learning. But there are people who died in war, very chaotic, on the battlefield, very chaotic environment. They die and they have no idea they're dead. They think they're still fighting a battle.
Uh-huh.
There are kids that died before they, before they really started becoming, you know, uh, an individual, toddlers and stuff. And they don't know what's happened. They died and they have no idea. They're just in a state of confusion. Aborted babies or drunks or, people who are strung out. When they die in a state of confusion. Um,
Yes, I agree.
and so they don't go anywhere because they can't. They don't have the ability to continue on the journey because they never started the journey that we're on. Okay, so you have people who, when they die, they keep going forward, and they have people who stay here, and they're basically in darkness and confusion. And so the people that die and stay here, they're on a spectrum too. Some of them are conscious and they want to stay here because they were so fleshy that they want to continue to live a mortal life. And so they attach themselves to people and they suck their energy. And sometimes it doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes that attachment, there is like my mind to your mind type of thing. And their memories, sort of this symbiotic, osmosis of, they're attached. So their thoughts and their memories and their desires become our own because we don't know what's going on. We have no discernment. Most people don't have discernment. And so that's why we have kids who are 2 and 3 years old just learning how to talk, and they're saying how they died in their last lifetime, and they're basically solving the murder of their previous life's death. Well, it's not their previous life; it is the life of whatever's attached to them.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And so,
Right. I agree.
there are so many reasons why we have great evidence for reincarnation. That's just a couple different aspects of it. There's more, and I have to end the live, but